Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
Well, that breaking news, one person is in the hospital this morning after an overnight crash. Officers were called here to this scene near 43rd and Burdett. It happened just before 1 o'clock this morning. We have some good news to report. We're told the victim's injuries are not life-threatening. Of course, we'll keep you updated on air and online as soon as we learn more information.
All right, thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. It's good to have you here as we start the streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole. There's meteorologist Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Rusty Lord. First alert, that's some storm chances today.
Yeah, today, tomorrow, Friday, a lot going on. Busy week for the rest of the week, so stay up to date because one round kind of impacts where the next one goes and so on. This is what we have on the radar right now, this cluster of clouds, and that's what most of us will probably see is the cloud debris off of this cluster of storms moving farther to the east. Right now, nothing really threatening our area, but small chances in our western county. You can see a little shower there trying to drift in west of Columbus, but so far everything has been in central Nebraska. It is dropping southeast though, so we're going to keep an eye on this morning. Quite a bit of sunshine out there otherwise. We're at 68 degrees, pretty calm conditions as we've settled down into the upper 60s this morning, but notice those two numbers. Jarrett's going to talk about this a little bit. Those two numbers really close. The air almost saturated, and we do have some fog that's developing around the area. Muggy meter is going to stay there in the muggy range all day, so you're going to feel that moisture in the air each and every hour of the day. There is where the thunderstorms are here by 8 o'clock. Obviously a little bit overdone compared to what's actually out there, but it gives you an idea of where they may head. Still by 9, most still west of the metro and west of our viewing area. A couple could drift in as we approach the lunch hour. The thing is, they're going to struggle to hang on the way things look right now. We'll watch and see. You can see that the clouds around, possible one or two of these little showers could linger into the afternoon, but right now I'm leaning towards the drier side for most of us with temperatures by 5 o'clock in the upper 80s. That's where we're topping out today. Then later on tonight, things are pretty quiet. By 10 o'clock, we're down upper 70s and lower 80s. And then through the overnight, the next round to first alert you to what could be some storms that may wake you up in the middle of the night. The question is, do these develop over us or do they develop to the northwest and move in overnight? Looking more and more likely we'll have something around heading into the morning hours on Thursday. They could have some wind, could have some hail with it, and that's why we've made Thursday a first alert day and kept it that way. The best odds for severe weather on Thursday, though, have shifted farther to the west with a 2 out of 5 on the scale. And I think this mostly pertains to that afternoon and evening round where it fires up and then it would send storms east deeper into the evening for round number 2 on Thursday. So the severe threats on Thursday have lessened as far as the tornado risk goes. That's lowered and shifted to the west. I still think wind and hail potential, what we'll need to watch for primarily. And there's your first alert day for Thursday with 91 happening between these round of storms. One in the morning and again another one late in the evening. Hail and gusty wind, the main threat, and like I mentioned, the tornado risk has trended farther west, lowered for our area, so that's good news, but it's still going to be warm. It's still going to be humid. There's going to be a lot of energy for storms to use. The question is just where they develop and where they move. So you just got to be ready here, I think, the next couple of days.
All right, and something that we can get excited about is this weekend for sure.
It's looking awesome this weekend. That hasn't changed. And if you're looking for that almost Friday forecast, Friday still has showers and storms with it. Don't be surprised if some of those linger into the evening, but what Aaron was talking about is Saturday and Sunday. 82 and 86 respectively, less humidity. We're not going to take it out entirely, but it's going to be lower than what we've been dealing with all week. And comfortable temperatures, considering average high this time of year is upper 80s, and we're going to be well below that on Saturday, the way things look. There's that dip in the muggy meter. Was lining up more for Saturday a couple of days ago. Now it's maybe both days this weekend before it goes back up into the early part of next week. So that right there is the key to the forecast heading into Saturday and Sunday. Pretty comfortable temperatures, but you like to pair it up with some lower humidity. And you can see that's even showing up with some lower morning lows down in the low 60s as opposed to low 70s. And then You got some 90s and maybe even another cooler stretch towards the end of next week.
Whoa, is that a 70 I see?
Yeah, and Jared and I were talking. The morning lows could dip in the 50s a couple of those days. So we'll see if that holds on models.
But my sweater's still at the dry cleaner. I have nothing to put on.
You'll be in here at work while it's the coolest part anyway, so you don't got to worry.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk traffic. There is some fog out there this morning.
Yeah, and it's affecting the visibility in some areas, so you want to be ready for that this morning. Rusty was talking about some of that moisture, and that's how we're kind of playing off of that to form some of that, and it has gotten thick in some areas. Let's look at where we're struggling the most with our visibility, try to help you out a little bit here. This is Highway 34, right around Harlan Lewis Drive, so right before you head over the Missouri River, and you're kind of seeing right in the river valley how difficult it is to see right around there. So not the only spot where we're having issues, but you can see that we are seeing the Metro do a little bit better than what I'm going to show you here in just a little bit. It's just in pockets where you're going to be looking at it being that bad, and especially as you get right near the river is where that has been more consistently the case. You can see though a little bit more of it as we zoom out. Quarter-mile visibility Shenandoah, we've been consistently seeing some areas where we are near zero visibility as you're moving along Highway 59, Highway 71 in Iowa. So as you're heading along those areas, Harlan, Atlantic, Clarinda, you could be looking at some of these areas where that visibility really drops off here over the next hour or so. So use some extra caution. I know there's daylight out there, but you want to turn those headlights on. It helps you out. It also helps you see other drivers as they're heading toward you in these kind of conditions. We'll improve on this over the next hour or so and start to get some better conditions here as the morning goes along. Aside from the fog, we do have a few pockets that are running slowly this morning. That includes I-80, both directions. That construction zone, we're struggling. And then you're seeing a lot of just kind of splotches of yellow, indicating more traffic that's hitting the roads and some minor delays that are showing up, particularly there in Florence as you're heading northbound. That's a new slowdown that I've been noticing there on 30th. So I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if we do start seeing any crashes. It kind of turned into a demo derby on us on Blair High yesterday, hoping we can avoid anything like that.
All right, Jared, we hope so. Thank you. News now, Omaha police arrest Courtney Hansen in connection to a homicide. OPD says officers found the victim, 54-year-old Robert Allen, dead amid suspicious circumstances. It happened near 20th and Missouri Avenue on the 4th of July.
New this morning, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office needs your help in finding out who tried to steal a car in northwest Omaha. This all happened in the area of 165th and Erskine. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says 3 people in this video may have been armed. They're also believed to have stolen other cars as well.
Omaha Mayor John Ewing estimates the city's streetcar project will cost $32 million more than originally planned. The $421 million price tag is still less than the $440 million in bonds already approved by the city council. Ewing says the original estimate was determined when just 60% of the design phase was complete. Well, after suing Temu for allegedly collecting and selling users' personal information, Nebraska Attorney General Mike Hilgers says he's doing the same to General Motors and OnStar.
Hilgers claimed the 2 companies did collect data on customers' driving habits and then sold that info to insurance companies. He says this affected.
Maybe they could do it if they disclosed it to the people buying those trucks, but they didn't do it. We think that the incentives at a lot of these dealerships were such that people were opted in even if they didn't want to be opted in.
Hilgers said his office believes that GM and OnStar did this for about a decade. He is still looking into how many Nebraskans have been affected.
All right, here at the safety desk with Maria Cade. This hot weather can bring on symptoms and cause migraines for a lot of people. The two go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Huh?
I just experienced that yesterday. I was feeling it with all that heat.
Yeah?
And that heat, humidity, dehydration especially, that can all do really a number on your brain. Experts say the first step in helping yourself avoid those summer headaches is to stay fully hydrated. Now, you should also be cautious of your triggers so that you can avoid those when it comes to the heat. That could mean limiting your direct sun exposure, getting quality sleep, and not skipping meals. You also want to stay away from any food and beverages that can cause a migraine attack. Experts say if you need medication to help, you don't want to take too much of it.
If you do that for an extended period of time, say a week or 2, it can actually sometimes fire back. We call that rebound headache or medication overuse headache. And before you realize you could be in an ongoing cycle of headache that tends to be a little bit more difficult to break at times.
In the summer, they say you also want to be aware of some fragrances that come with products, like the sunscreen, bug spray. That can really cause some headache issues for some people. Also, don't forget those sunglasses, of course, when you're outside, the bright lights from the sun. That can also cause an impact on headaches for you.
Good reminders. All right. Now, there's a new study out that says matching your personality to your workout can keep you motivated.
Yeah,
this is good to know.
We were talking about personality tests earlier. I feel like those become more and more popular, and this study examines that a little bit. So it was published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology. They looked at 5 personality traits in 132 adults. Then they randomly sorted the participants into 2 different groups. So for their workouts, one group was given a cycling and a strength plan. The other, they only had to do 10 minutes every week of stretching. Seems like a pretty big discrepancy. But after 8 weeks, the team found that there was a pretty big difference in what personalities enjoyed what exercises. So they found that people who were more extroverted, they liked those higher intensity fitness tests. But people who were neurotic, according to those tests, they liked the lighter session a little bit better. So the research also found that personality traits play into how exercise influences our stress levels as well. This is pretty interesting. So the people who scored high in neuroticism, they were found to have less stress than any other group.
This is interesting, isn't it?
What do you think about that?
Oh.
We'll have to look more into it, right?
I do. I need to take my test to see what kind I am. All right, Maria, thank you. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. Time now 7:15 on this Wednesday morning. Going to be a pretty manageable forecast for today, but a first alert to incoming storms. That's making tomorrow a first alert day.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with the storm chances. Several rounds, I think, are in play, and a lot of this will be determined by the prior round moving through and how the atmosphere recovers. So stick with us here. Kind of a busy forecast. Pay attention even multiple times through the day here. Got some thunderstorms trying to get going to the northwest. I think we may just get some cloud debris heading our way from these. The severe risk today stays mostly to our west. Not a huge problem, but it is something we'll keep an eye on. There's where those storms are this morning. That models may be a little overdone with. Trying to find model data that lines up with what's actually happening is a little tough right now. As a very energetic atmosphere, and models can't figure out what to do with that energy. Upper 80s for highs today with some clouds around, and I don't think we'll have any sprinkles left by the afternoon. By 5, we're in the upper 80s, and then clouds moving off towards the east. Towards 10 o'clock, pretty quiet. Then afterwards, we'll watch for storms to either develop in the area overnight, like this shows, or they could move in from the northwest overnight and bring us some storm potential that, again, lingers into Thursday morning and pertains to the first alert day that we have in place as we start off the day on Thursday. The greatest risk for severe weather probably to the west right now in our area, but I still think worthy of keeping the first alert day because of the multiple rounds of storms that we could have, one in the morning and then again in the evening. But overall, the greatest severe risk, or the greatest tornado risk, I should say, has slid to the west. Higher risk in our western counties, or in the central and western Nebraska as well. So that's the shift with that. Still dealing with wind and hail potential, I think, from the strongest storms. So you're looking at Thursday here. We got rounds of storms in the morning, again late, and I would say even probably late evening. Hail and gusty wind, the main threat. We should be able to warm up to 91 before any evening storms roll in and have a pretty windy day along with it. And you can see what we're dealing with here with that round of storms for Thursday. Likely going to have some of those moving out early in the morning, then a pretty quiet middle of the day. And watch by 6 or 7. We'll see how the development gets going to our west. And then that would try to march in 9, 10 o'clock. Again, give or take a couple hours here. There's been very little consistency on the exact timing. But you can see still some potential during the overnight. And then still some storms possible heading into Friday. And you look at the odds for some heavy rain, some 1 to 3 inch totals possible over a good chunk of the area, the way things are looking over this 3-day stretch. So hopefully we can get some more rain and erase some of the deficits. The weekend looking A-OK. 80s out there Saturday and into Sunday.
We can't stop talking about that weekend, can we? 82 looks good.
Yeah.
We were talking about these temperatures. I mean, I saw 79 there. Is Mother Nature going to surprise us with the crazy heat wave coming?
I tell you what, nothing to be found for the next 10 days, really. Got some low 90s early next week, and we've even been warming up a little lower than what models tell us. And you go into the middle of the following week, and there's just nothing heat wave related for the next 2 weeks, the way things are looking. Though it'd be wild if we got through July without even threatening 100 degrees. So we'll see how it goes and enjoy it while it goes.
Yeah.
You know what she's waiting for?
Who?
The kids to head back to
There you go.
Mother
the classroom.
Heat it up in August.
I'm like,
I guess.
who? Mother Nature.
All right, let's get an update on traffic. Dealing with some fog this morning across the metro. I think drivers want to know what the visibility looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of splotchy. You get into some of those river valleys. That's where you're going to look at it more so affecting you as you're heading out the door. It's especially going to be a problem for you as you get into some of our Iowa towns. You can see how that is more so being an issue. Harlan near 0 visibility. You've got that Shenandoah, Clarinda. You're seeing quarter-mile visibility. Even Tacoma, you've got that also in your area. So watch for that as you're heading out the door. That's going to be the main thing that could slow you down in some of those areas. Elsewhere, we are seeing some delays showing up on some of our other roads. We've had that kind of consistently northbound on 30th there through Florence as you get past State Street. John J. Pershing looking a little better than it did earlier, but still pretty slow. So both popular routes to get to the airport. Watch for that. And then I-80 as you're heading into the construction zone. You get past L, we're slowing down quite a bit this morning, and then some delays as you're heading eastbound past 144th. You zoom things out, and many of our roads are moving along pretty well. We don't have a ton of issues in the early going. We haven't had any reports of crashes. I crossed my fingers when I said that, so I didn't jinx it, but hopefully we can keep the map looking something like this.
Hopefully so. All right, Jared, thank you. Well, planning a getaway in the summer sun.
Yeah, a closer look at the top 5 travel destinations to see this year when we come back. Well, Travel and Leisure has revealed its annual World's Best Awards. The #1 U.S. travel destination, though, could surprise you.
Okay, so here it is. According to the survey, the top spot, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Yeah, Travel and Leisure says its readers love the city's cuisine and the city's natural beauty. Santa Fe unseated Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow.
That has held the spot for the last 12 straight years. Coming in #2, New Orleans. Rounding out the top 5, Charleston, now at #3, Savannah, Georgia at #4, and Alexandria, Virginia at #5. Any of those on you guys' list?
Actually, I just checked 2 of those off a couple months ago.
Oh, you did?
I went to Charleston and Savannah. I loved Charleston.
Yeah.
So.
Charleston's great.
Charleston is great.
But
Oh, I've never been. I've been to Myrtle Beach. Shoot. I was like, wait a minute, no.
But now you have to go.
Okay, now I do have to go.
I have an aunt and uncle that go to Santa Fe in the Taos, New Mexico area, and they say it's great. I haven't ventured yet. I guess there's something to it.
See, to me, it was surprising because I'm an East Coaster, but you never know.
Yeah.
New York City didn't make the list.
Yeah.
Hawaii didn't make, or any city in Hawaii didn't make the list.
You give me 10 tries, I wouldn't have put that list together. Maybe
wouldn't
even
have
20
either.
tries. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Add those to your bucket list, I guess. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it on streaming or over the air.
All right, have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Harley, dealing with some foggy conditions this morning. Let's get to Jared, who has an update on traffic about that.
Yeah, it's especially true as you get near the Missouri River, where we've had that a little more consistently near Plattsmouth, Bellevue. We're starting to get some improvement out there, but you're still going to want to watch for that if you're about to head out the door. And especially as you get outside the metro, you can see where we've got some pockets of some lower visibility. Clarinda, Tekamah, you've had that around Highway 59 and Highway 71. So continue to use some caution if you're driving in those areas. Aside from that, it's really a pretty smooth start to the commute. Some slowing, of course, in the construction zone on I-80, but otherwise, pretty good start. Rusty.
Thanks, Jarrett. Let's talk about what we're dealing with as far as storm chances go. Today's most likely state of the west. You can see the scattered showers and storms trying to get going. Thicker pocket of clouds may send some cloud debris our way. So we have sunshine now, but that'll gradually change as the morning goes along. Best odds for strong storms staying to our west as well. So it's our western counties, Norfolk, Columbus, down to York and points in between. You got the best bet of seeing a thunder shower, most likely just for the morning hours too. Upper 60s to near 70. First Alert forecast shows those small chances this morning. We'll climb to 89 degrees. It's going to be humid. It's going to be pretty warm, but not incredibly hot. About where we should be for this time of year. Then we go to 91 on Thursday. First Alert 6 weather day. Could have some morning storms and then again some storms in the evening. to watch for. Either round could have some severe potential as well. Aaron?
Well, that breaking news this morning. One person is in the hospital after an overnight crash. Officers are called to 43rd and Burdett just before 1 this morning. The good news is we're told the victim's injuries are not life-threatening.
All right, it is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.